Hello everybody, Jake your resident content cowboy here, Yeehaw. We're going through every single talent here in Warcraft Rumble for all of our units. Maybe we'll break it up into multiple factions here. We'll start with Horde units right here, and we're going to start with the Bat Rider. So if you don't know much about talents, talents are what you can unlock inside the game once you hit uncommon and then rare, etc. values for your units right here. Once you hit them, like I could show you one right here. My Worgen is uncommon right now, and I have unlocked a talent for it. You can only take one talent into battle, and once you get it, you've got to be pretty sure that that's the one you want, because it's going to be hard to get another one for quite some time. So I would be careful about the talents that you pick. Let's take a look at our Bat Rider right here and look at the talents available to this unit. There are three. Flaming Pitch, Flaming Pool reduces enemies' move speed by 30%. That seems okay. Enchanted Vials increases the size of the Flaming Pool by 30%. That seems better to me. And then Fiery Surplus, accidentally leave vials on the ground, burning nearby enemies that touch them. That feels maybe the best out of the three without being able to really mess with them at all. Reducing enemy move speed in the pool seems fine. Increasing the size seems okay too, but I would definitely say that Fiery Surplus sounds like the most interesting one for the Bat Rider. That's already a unit that's like, it's not my favorite unit, even though I've been playing it a lot today, and I'm actually liking it more and more. Chain Lightning, one of my favorite spells in the game. It's just so cheap. Its talents on deploy, stun enemies within for 1 second. That's very good. Storm's Reach, dramatically increase jump distance between targets. Not bad either. And then Reverberation can be cast a second time. I don't think Reverberation is probably that necessary. I would say Brilliant Flash or Storm's Reach would be a lot better. Stunning enemies, like the time in this game is so crazy. A second is so long. Being able to stun someone and redirect their aggro is extremely important with something like this, because you think like, oh, it's just a stun, but not only are they going to get stunned, they're going to decide what unit they're fighting. So if you want them to all get stunned and refocus on your tank or something like that, it could be a really, really powerful play. I would pick either Brilliant Flash or Storm's Reach. I don't think Reverberation is that necessary. Let's see. We've got Dark Spear Troll. Dark Spear Troll's so good. This unit's ridiculous. It's so strong. Your options are Big Bad Voodoo, regenerate 20% health every second. Not bad. Headhunting, on kill, increase attack and movement speed by 10%, stacking to 50%. This is good. And then Serpent. Honestly, these are all good. These are all pretty good powers. The thing about it is, I like, when I think about talents on a lot of units like this, especially for beginning players, which I'm pretty early into this game, so I'd consider myself to be one of them. I think for beginning players especially, you're going to want to spend time with talents that you don't have to think too much to get a lot of value out of. Coming from the chat, Denver says they're all pretty solid. I like the Voodoo specifically due to the splash damage. Interesting. Yeah. That's very, very cool. I didn't even realize that that would be a big thing, but regenerating a lot of health could be very nice. Honestly, Dark Spear Troll is a great unit. It's really strong. I like it a lot. Let's see. Our next unit here, Stone Hoof Tauren. Stone Hoof Tauren's sick. I didn't realize how good this unit would be. This unit's sick. Pummel, after connecting a charge, stun the target for 3 seconds. Wow, that's so good. Momentum, after connecting a charge, immediately charges second time. I've seen this. So Momentum, I feel like, is going to give you some amazing moments and some moments that are not so good. I don't know if I would pick Momentum. It could just charge you in some really unfortunate situations rather than you being in a good situation. That being said, I bet there are some times where you'll just dash into an enemy and it could be amazing. And then Provoke, after connecting a charge, taunt nearby enemies. Taunt's something that I've been messing around with a little bit, and I really can't say whether or not it's amazing. It feels like it's maybe higher skill cap than I'm at right now. If I just had to pick one of these right now, I would definitely pick Pummel. A 3-second stun on a dash just right away. Oof. Amazing. Quillbore. Oh, Quillbore, we're not doing Quillbore right now. We're just doing Horde. This is just part of this deck. Quillbore is like one of the best units in the game. It's so crazy good. All right, moving on. Frost Wolf Shaman. The abilities, once per deploy, place a totem that partially heals nearby tower or base. Lightning Mastery, ranged attack change to 3 nearby targets. And then Earth Shield, grant armored to a nearby ally. Ability has 1 charge. These are all really interesting. If I knew the amount of healing on Earth, because Earthwall Totem sounds really good, but then you find that the healing's not what you'd expect it to be, and it becomes insanely situational. Lightning Mastery, you have to think this is always active. So Macho in the chat says they regret buying it. See, that's what I was worried about. When I read something like this, it sounds too good to be true, right? So it has to be kind of weak. For me, Lightning Mastery is easy. It chains, and you don't have to think about it. Earth Shield also is easy. You're always going to deploy this with some other units, right? You basically, Frostwolf Shaman is a support unit. It attacks and it heals. I think Earth Shield's an easy call, and Lightning Mastery also super easy. The nice thing about Earth Shield is, let's say you have someone on your team who's resistant, like you have a Huntress or something like that, and you just want to not only have them resistant, you want to give them armored so they're crazy strong. That feels like a really, really good power there. Let's move on to some more Horde units. Warsong Grunts are really interesting. I like units that split, but I have not found a ton of use for Warsong Grunts. They feel expensive. I feel like this could be a 4-cost unit. Blood Pact. When a grunt dies, the other gains Bloodlust. Fine. Guard Duty. Remain at deployed location until entering combat. This is... I don't even want to deal with this. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't... It's so... It reminds me of the Drake talent. I don't even want to start. This feels way too complex, especially for early players. I don't even want to deal with it. Command. Nearby beast allies deal 30% additional damage. This is kind of cool. It's also kind of specific. I gotta be honest. I don't like any of these talents. Just in general, I don't love this unit, and I don't love these talents. If I had to pick one, maybe just Blood Pack, because you never have to think about it. Command, also you just put it into a beast deck, right? I've like put it into my Murkai deck, and I have some fun with it. Warsong Raider, very good unit. I really like Warsong Raider. Does single target damage and siege damage. Very strong. Feels like that Pig Rider from Clash Royale a little bit, right? The talents here. Damaging a tower reduces its damage dealt by 50% for 3 seconds. That's, I don't know why, that just feels like too many things to me. It feels like when I read that, that's too many things. Raising focus, become a siege unit ignoring minis. That's sick. That literally is that Pig Rider, right? I'm getting the name wrong, but that is like Pig Rider from Clash Royale at this point. You can literally just set this down and it runs past everything to do siege damage. That's a legit, very good talent, I think. Sunder Armor, damaging an armored enemy removes their armor. Well, I feel like Raising Focus is really good, but it's extremely specific. The others I don't even love. Sunder Armor, it's an ability that you never have to think about, so that's pretty positive, right? But beyond that, these are not talents that I love for Warsong Raider. I guess Saboteur is kind of cool if you know how you're using it, right? Especially when you're attacking a base and you're kind of crashing into it. But at the same time, it feels like defense is mostly done by units and not really done by the tower itself. I don't know. I don't love any of these. I guess if you got to a base just with the Warsong Raider, you'll be able to survive a long time just doing chip damage to it, which is kind of nice. All right, Ogre Mage. Really good unit. Expensive, though. It's like really expensive. Let's take a look here. Frostfire Bolt. Gain Frost. That's pretty sweet. Ignite. Burn enemy targets. That's pretty sweet. Avarice. Gain Bloodlust when bloodlusting an ally. Wow, these are all good. These are all pretty good. Frost might be more beneficial at times than Ignite, because I think at times with Frost, you might actually end up getting more hits on an enemy because they're not going to be able to get to you in time. Ignite, however, you do lots of good splash damage with the Ogre Mage, so you're igniting a lot of targets right here. And then Avarice, you are often bloodlusting an ally, so you become Bloodlust. For me, that feels like again, just kind of like our Frostwolf Shaman, this feels like a really good call. Zev the Rev in the chat is saying Avarice. It sounds really good, but honestly, I don't think you could pick one of these. I gotta point to the right side. I don't think you could pick one of these and have a bad choice. They all feel pretty strong. Execute. Love Execute. It's a really cool spell. Does a lot of damage. Bloodthirsty. Bloodlust allies within the spell area for 10 seconds. That's kind of a cool additional effect. If an enemy is killed, the next Horde mini costs 1 less. Super specific, but you're probably going to get, well, you're probably going to get a kill with this. So you're kind of just saying that Execute now costs 2, which is great. Overpower. Knock enemies away from the cast location. Oh, I've seen Overpower used, and I thought it was pretty interesting. It's definitely... it's very disruptive, and things that kind of disrupt the enemy are really strong. I actually like all of these for different reasons. I'd probably pick Killing Spree just because I knew that I'd always use this as a 2 cost. I think that's what I would do with this. Goblin Sappers. Deploy an additional Goblin Sapper. Very good. Move twice as fast and gain the fast trait. Also very good. On death, burn nearby enemies. I would either pick Extra Boom because you know that you're going to be doing some good damage, but rocket-powered turbo boosts feel like the play. The whole point of this unit is to just run at the enemy and do a ton of siege damage, right? They run past units. They only hit siege targets. As a siege specialist, they only attack towers and bosses. So it feels like just giving them the ability to actually get to something would be very, very beneficial. You also could juke some people who try to throw down something to stop you. I would probably pick the fast trait. I probably would. However, giving another Sapper is also probably really, really strong. I forgot to talk about Sneed earlier when I was talking about Horde units. Let's talk about it right now. You have 3 talent choices for Sneed. Mine is Money Friend. Gain the minor trait. Lead with Greed. Gain an additional +2 gold. When Sneed, it has to be Sneed, triggers the Sneed before Greed effect. And then Land Grab. Gain a level when non-passive gold is earned. So Sneed before Greed is you gain 2 gold when a siege damage unit destroys a tower, captures a meeting stone, or opens a chest. You'd have to play this specifically with Sneed, but you would get 4 gold when something like that happens. For me, however, I feel like gaining the minor trait is probably too good to pass up, even though I do think Lead with Greed could be really, really strong. Gaining a level whenever non-passive gold is earned is kind of cool as well, but I feel like having an extra minor without even thinking about it, that just walks by and is able to pick up gold is so incredibly powerful. Sneed's wild though, and it's one of those heroes that I really want to spend more time with because I really want to focus on just controlling gold inside of a map and see how much I like it. But there you go. There is the Sneed talents. Those are all of our Horde units. Let's talk about our Horde leaders right here. Karen Bloodhoof. I just started playing a bit of Karen today. I love this unit. I actually didn't think I'd like it so much. Its ability, Horde troops just getting 20% increased health. How nice is that? And let's talk about its talents. So, after death, resurrected 50% health once. That's sick. Planes running, move 50% faster and gave fast trait. Sick. Aftershock, when stun expires, affected enemies are also dazed for 5 seconds. These are all pretty good talents. I like all of these talents right here. I have to see, I don't know off the top of my head how dazed works inside of Warcraft Rumble. Give me 1 second. I need to go to one of the Warcraft Rumble sites. Dazed is a slow. Okay, dazed is a slow. Thank you, Zev. So dazed is a slow. Okay, that seems fine. Out of these, I mean, reincarnation's good, but one thing is when you do get killed in this game, it feels like you're already in a bad situation and you're probably just going to get killed again pretty fast. However, it's just something that the enemy is going to have to deal with again. Planes running is just really good. 50% faster is just really, really good. However, it does change a slow push with this unit. I love this unit. Having so much fun with it. Then we have Gromash Hellscream. Gromash Hellscream's talents. Blade Storm. Gain an AoE blade spin ability that damages all nearby enemies. I've kind of seen this, and it feels like the AoE is small. Like, they have to be right on you, so it actually might not be that beneficial. Mirror Image, summon 2 fragile mirror images when entering combat. I've got some Warcraft 3 flashbacks from this ability right here. That's, I think, very good. Savage Strikes deal double damage to enemies who are below 50% health. That one's probably the best. The thing is, Mirror Image and Savage Strikes feel like you're going to get the most use out of them the most often. Savage Strikes, double damage to enemies who are below 50% health is very common. It would be very common that you're dealing that amount of damage to enemies, and it just is putting you in a position to start executing things. And, you know, in a game like this, units are useful until they're off the board. They're not any worse or any better. I mean, some change, like whelp eggs or something like that. But basically, wiping a unit off the board is the most important thing that you can do. It doesn't matter how low their HP is. You need to get rid of them. So that feels like probably the call. And those are all of our Horde talents right there. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I will see you all next time. We did it. We did it.